DJ Tatsujin from GameAbaka here. With a new series of videos on the channel, I wanted to highlight a really awesome Xbox Live indie game I picked up a little while ago, Vintage Hero. This game plays like Mega Man in every sense of the word. Selecting my first stage, we're going to square off with a level boss named Grip Grab. As you can see, the jumping and shooting in this tile emulates the classic Mega Man series. When we destroy an enemy, however, you'll notice a small number prompt similar to Zelda 2. These are experience points the character can earn to level up. I really like this because it is sort of like the X series, where on top of collecting weapons from the bosses, you can boost your shot power, raise your maximum health, and more. With that experience gain, you'll see I can press the Y button to enter a sub-menu that would let me power up with points. However, in order to challenge myself and see what happens in this series of videos, I'm not going to level up any of my abilities. And you'll notice in that last screen I did pick up an item that's similar to an E-Tank, and I'll definitely need that later on in this game. And these guys look like the green tentacles from Maniac Mansion. Dealing with these guys is pretty easy, but you'll see later in the game that they get placed in positions that cause real problems. And on this screen you'll notice the staple hazard of Mega Man, the spikes. As expected, if you touch these on any difficulty level, it results in an instant kill. And getting out of a tight spot there. Playing a lot of Mega Man growing up, I've learned that sometimes you just need to run away from the enemies. And I'm going to use the coil type weapon again, collect an extra life, and we'll just dive down into the abyss here. There we go. And with that, you'll notice there's a stage gimmick here. The little platforms move in the direction opposite of where you fire. And of course, these little things will be put in tricky little positions later on too. And here we see the Red Arbiter type creature. He's going to try to crap fire on us, but for the most part it's pretty easy to avoid. Strolling along these platforms, I do have to say I quite enjoy the stage music. Vintage Hero really nails the 8-bit feel in my opinion. It hits the staples of the area with noticeable graphics and sound, and a decent challenge. Fight this guy, and I almost fall right on the spikes there. I almost killed myself, but we're still doing alright here. No damage so far, actually. I'm not sure that'll hold up too much longer, though. And fight more of these yellow slug things. A little creepy. They oddly remember something, they remind me of something straight out of Commander Keen for some reason. I don't know what happened to that guy. I haven't seen him since my IBM Gold Star back when I was younger. Bust out the coil again and get up, and now we're on the final stretch to the boss battle. One thing I should mention about this game is it's $1. Through the series we'll be tackling 6 stages, so it's roughly the length of one of the Game Boy versions of Mega Man, and it's only $1. With my rose-colored glasses on, and I think back, I think Mega Man 2 will always be my favorite game of all time. I still play through it once or twice a year, I love it that much. I think it's the 3 key factors I mentioned earlier, the graphics, the sound, and the challenge. Mega Man 2 built on the first game by leaps and bounds, and I just have so much fun with it. The characters and the themes and all of the games, they've always resonated with me, and I've always stuck with the franchise even through the lowest times. I guess right now could be one of those, but I really enjoyed the series, even the games like Mega Man 4 that people seemingly hated on. And the series made some really interesting transitions when it jumped to 16 and 32 bits. I enjoyed the Legends game, and when Mega Man was introduced into Marvel vs. Capcom, that was just a real treat for me. And we're here at Grip Grab's doorstep. On the hard difficulty, these boss corridors are the only checkpoints you get, so if you die, you have to start all the way back from the beginning of the stage. And here's Grip Grab, some sort of Metroid-looking creature. He's chained to the wall right now. The point where it's linked to the wall is its weak point, so we have to start attacking there. I've seemingly forgotten how to play, so I'm getting smacked around by a few of the fireballs. But while it's chained to the wall, it can only lunge and shoot the fireballs. Since I'm not leveling up, my weapon power is going to be a little weak, so to save everyone the monotony of watching me shoot at the wall endlessly, we're going to fast forward a little bit here. Shoot a couple more times. Here we finally destroy Grip Grab's link to the wall. Unfortunately, it does get a second health meter, and it's go time once more. Again, it's limited to lunging and spreading fire, but it does get a little bit more aggressive about it this time around. Slowly but surely will whittle away at its health. Oddly, Grip Grab is the only boss character that plays out like this, as the others are defeated once their health meter runs out. It's also interesting to know that even though Vintage Hero emulates Mega Man so much, the stage masters don't resemble humanoid robots. And in fact, only one of the bosses plays out similar to a Mega Man robot monster. They kind of play out more like the mid-boss characters that Mega Man and X would fight. And again, in the interest of time, we're going to fast forward a little bit further here. Actually, in the uncut video, I'm fighting this thing for a little longer than 2.5 minutes. It goes to show how important leveling up is in the game, I suppose. Playing normally, my weapon strength was the item I maxed out right away, and then I worked on health and defense. And we got his health out, and it kind of blows up Mega Man X4 style. That's what it reminds me of anyway. And we now have our first elemental of the game, which, as you can guess, grants us our first ability to use as a sub-weapon. So, got this going and snatch it right out of the air. So the first stage wasn't a sweat, no dust, no real trouble. So at this point I'm feeling great about the anti-leveling run. It gives us the Magma Ball weapon, which actually is pretty useful in a few areas. So you can check out this weapon and even more Vintage Hero in part 2 of this video coming soon. Thank you for watching.